What's cracking, good people? It's your boy Big G, man, of the Know It Alls podcast crew. Man, doing something new, man. It's a noonday rant that we're going to be doing from now on the Pittsburgh Steelers Know It Alls channel. My boy Tate Boy Fresh, he backstage hitting the ones and twos. G's on the mic talking about what he needs to talk about. And man, listen, I'm going to be keeping it a buck and keeping it on 100 when it comes to the state of the Steelers and everything else that's going on that's in the mind of Big G. So this week's topic is all about the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, I get on with them. It's my squizzard. But this is an interactive show. So because it's a rant, you guys can drive the content. You can drive it. Ask questions. Say what you got to say about the state of the Steelers, because I'm damn for sure going to say what I got to say about the state of the Steelers. And we go from there, man. So we appreciate all you guys rocking with us in the live chat. Like I said, this might be something that you see 1 or 2 times a week moving forward, but it's just a live show, man, to talk to you about the state of our squizzard, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, what's up, Steelermatic, man? Some of our loyal people that already jumped in. I saw Jar Devil, I saw Afton, and we're going to give you shout-outs every dang on show and just get to see where your mind is. Man, Big E, man, what's up for lunch, bro? Yeah, it's the state of the Steelers 100% in the mind of G, man, where we at, man. Hey, so look, I'm here today to talk to you about the Pittsburgh Steelers and the 53-man roster and give a little sunshine to Mr. Omar Khan. Whether you like him or not, whether you think he's done blown it with being able to land us a WR2, Omar Khan in 2 years has flipped the Pittsburgh Steelers roster over to the point to where we're not going to have to keep bums and scrubs anymore on the 53-man roster. And I know there's some folks that feel a certain kind of way when it comes to impartial people. What's up, Corey? When it comes to people like James Pierre and Miles Kennebrew and Hayward's little brother to play tight end. Dudes that's been on the roster. Heck, I might get in trouble with Shannon White with this one, but Beanie Bishop. Listen, these guys are not what we need on the 53-man roster with the Pittsburgh Steelers moving forward this year. Not in my opinion. We've improved too much with core value guys that can actually play. Now, we got some issues. You know, we don't know how long it's going to be before Myles Garrett. What Big E say? Big E, I'm going to come back to that, bro. We don't know how long before Calvin Austin is going to be able to play. We know there's little injuries here or there. But the bottom line is the Pittsburgh Steelers roster has improved to the point to where Omar Khan deserves some freaking credit, y'all. Andy Waddle deserves some credit. And Mr. Rooney deserves some credit by being able to let them operate to put the team in position to be relevant this year, man. So all those naysayers out there talking about, well, this guy and that guy and all whatever else concerning the 53-man, you got to do freaking better, man. You got to do better than be critical about the Pittsburgh Steelers of the things that they're supposedly not doing versus what they are doing. Jar Devil says Killebrew has a chance to stay due to special teams role unless someone can replace him like Carson Bruner. Jar Devil, you're right, but Carson Bruner is showing right now he can play. Carson Bruner, if you go back and look at the tape against the Jacksonville Jaguars, actually looked like he could get first or second team reps in an emergency situation. So why would you hold on to a guy like Killebrew that can't really do nothing but play special teams and have a guy like Bruner that could spell him? And he's cheaper. You don't even have a contract, man. Big E Bronco says, I see you definitely upgraded your quarterback room with Aaron Rodgers. He's going to make wide receivers look better than what they've done before, and the offensive line look better. Of course, because he has presence in the pocket, and he knows what to do. What's up, Steeler girl? What's cracking? So yeah, he's going to make us look better, man. But yeah, we don't need to be holding a swoozy. What's cracking, man? We don't need to be holding on to scrubs. And, you know, like I said, they're NFL players, so there's really nobody that's a bum or a scrub. But concerning our 53-man roster, it just don't work anymore. Now, the opposite side of this is your boy Mike T, man. Coach T, man, we love you. Sometimes your Tomlinisms gets on our damn nerves, but for the most part, you make good decisions concerning our team. So This is one of them years where we've had improvement, and I'm going to start position by position and talk about the improvement that's going on in the room and why certain guys need to be let go. Big E, man, I see you, bro. So he said, I know the balls. He said, I bust your balls all the time. Pause, no Diddy. This is a legit upgrade.
No Diddy.
Yeah, this is an upgrade. Your quarterback room and wide receivers room look better. And my God, what DK Metcalf has done with Geno Smith, and yeah, of course, yeah, and that's why I said this is one of those conversations that we got to be real and keep it a buck concerning the Steelers, man, and what we've upgraded. I'm gonna start with the elephant in the room, the tight end room. Okay, Jonnu Smith, Pat Freiermuth, and the development and growth of Darnell Washington puts Hayward in position where he needs to be escorted out of the room, stage left. Adios, muchachos, my friend. He doesn't need to be in the Pittsburgh Steelers tight end room. Now, there's thought process that they should keep 4 tight ends and all whatever else. But from a team standpoint or roster standpoint, how much more can Cam Hayward or value can Cam Hayward offer to the Pittsburgh Steelers? He damn for sure can't play fullback and block. He struggles sometimes in the pass game to create separation between him and defensive backs in certain sets. So what, we're going to pay him and keep him around because he's just going to be a special teams guy? Hell no. We need to look at realistically Hayward being one of those guys that's cut because of the upgrade in the tight end room. So it's the elephant in the room. But for whatever reason, I see his brother starting all kind of mess and nonsense. And, he's talking about he wants a contract extension. And I've heard Steelers fans go on rants and rages talking about, well, just pay the older brother Hayward, the little baby brother Hayward's money, and then we can do all what we need to do. The bottom line is Hayward, the tight end, in my opinion, has not earned a roster spot this year in the 53-man roster because of how critical the 12 personnel and the 13 personnel is going to be with the Steelers. Take Boy Fresh says, Aaron Rodgers, like Connor said, how smart he was. Yeah, he did say that, bro. But, you could be a smart football player all the time, but how much value do you add? And can you actually do the job that you're supposed to be able to do? Hayward can't block. Hayward looked bad in pass pro settings. Matter of fact, Hayward messed it up for a big run that could have happened for Caleb Johnson when you go back and watch the all-22 film. And he's done that consistently over and over and over.
Crazy, man. You right. I am crazy.
Yeah, Big E, that's flat out diabolical and nuts. There's absolutely no way in hell we sending Mount Washington to Denver for anything. I.e., the whole reason why I'm talking about Hayward being escorted out of the room. Darnell Washington has looked like he has upgraded his ability to play football in the Pittsburgh Steelers to the point to where I'm going to be out here on the ledge and say it. He might be fighting for the number 1 reps. He just might be because he looks faster. He looks stronger. He looks more confident in the pass pro. He damn for sure always could block. And Aaron Rodgers is going to be looking for him like a big target, like he did Mercedes Lewis, like he did Runyon, like he did, well, this boy ain't so big, but Jermichael Finley. He's going to be looking for him because Rodgers loves tight ends. Jar Devil says Rodgers can make Meatball Hayward look better, but he's more suited for the practice squad. Nah, he's not a practice squad guy either. And I'm going to say this is why I'm going to say it. Because if the Steelers cut him, or we try to designate him for the practice squad, which that means he's got to clear waivers from all the rest of the teams. There are teams out there that are tight end desperate, and Hayward will get picked up just because of what he's put on film for the last few years for the Steelers. Not necessarily a starting tight end, but a tight end, man, that you would need on your roster to fill depth. So he would clear waivers, and he'd never make it to the practice squad. But the real reason why Hayward should be gone is Jonnu Smith. Steelers Nation, you got to understand. Jonnu Smith is a top 10 tight end in the NFL. Whether you like it or not, whether you say, oh, no, look at this guy over here, look at that guy over here. I'm talking about production on the field. The ability to get open and the ability to confuse defenses because you don't know if he's lining up at a receiver position, a H-back position, a tight end position, and they move him to get defenses to shift and give us a tail. That's what they do. Go back and watch the film for the Miami Dolphins last year. They moved him around all over the place. And I'm telling you, he was killing them. So if you add Jonnu Smith, the improvement of Darnell Washington, and then Pat Freiermuth is going to be what Freiermuth does. But I'm telling you right now, Move, you better play this year, pal, or you might just be sitting, out of some of those 12 personnel sets. Or if we go 11 personnel, which means one tight end on the field, dude, you might not even see the field, bro. It's up to you to improve. But if Move does, because we've already seen it out of Darnell Washington, and we know what Smith is, oh my God. 13 personnel and 12 personnel for the Steelers, unbelievable. Second position room, cornerback. We add a top 10, or maybe in some people's position, top 5 corner in Jalen Ramsey. We add a serviceable, non-washed Super Bowl champion veteran named Darius Slay. And we add a serviceable slot corner in Echols. Why in the hell are we holding on to James Pierre? Why in the hell are we holding on to him? He is big trash. He's been big trash for years. Anytime you see 42 out there on the field, bro, come on, man. You already know defensive coordinators are designating it and saying, throw the ball at that guy every single time. So why do we hold on to him? Now, I get the guys that's out there saying, well, we don't really know what's going on with Corey Trice Jr. He might be injured, and we don't know if Kent is going to be serviceable because he's in a boot right now or whatever else. After, you're right, he said he sucks on tackling too. Pierre is big trash. Let's just face it and say it. He's horrible, right? Jardel.
That's big trash. Let's go, man.
Absolutely, he's super trash. And Jardevil feels like trash. Yeah, he does always get injured. So part of the NFL is having availability, but part of the NFL is also based on talent. And I'm gonna quote something my boy Tay Boy Fresh says all the time. He's a freaking avatar. So an avatar gives you a better opportunity to stop an opposing team wide receiver because they're built the same way. It's just the injury front. So right now in corner depth, Echols is 4. Jalen Ramsey's 1, JPJ's 2, Slay's 3, Echols is 4. I think they're going to keep legitimately 6 corners. So there's not room for James Pierre if Corey Trice is healthy. But the question in the room is Beanie Bishop. Y'all saw Beanie Bishop's play against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Y'all saw how trash he was out there looking. Y'all saw that he wasn't serviceable against legitimate number 1 wide receivers in a slot corner position and or on the outside. Now, it could have been what was being called from a defensive standpoint. It could have been, they were in cover 2 soft shell, whatever else. It could have been. But Beanie did not look good. Tim Lyons said, I don't know what Tim say, bro. What did he say? Gee, you got to have a trash can sign next with a cape on it flying in the air for super trash on a podcast next year. That might be in the laboratory, Tim. I got, my little elves working on signs and stuff right now. So by the time the season kicks in, you might see that for sure, man. But yeah, the super trash is definitely how Beanie Bishop looked. And I've never been the guy that says, oh, Beanie. He's had some good moments. But as far as a starting corner or a guy that's going to rotate in, no way in hell is he in front of Echols. No way in hell is he in front of Slay. No way in hell is he in front of Jalen Ramsey. And hell no, he ain't in front of JPJ. So he's a guy that's going to be on special teams. And realistically, cheaper, Beanie could be one of those guys that sub on special teams too, to get some of the trash out of the room concerning the positions. So maybe you keep Beanie. Maybe you decide between Kent and Trice which one you're going to keep on the actual active roster, and then give the other guy an opportunity to hit the practice squad. I don't believe that Kent will get picked up by anybody. I think he clear waivers and Kent will be placed on a practice squad. He was a 7th round pick. But in camp, the kid has shown potential, man. Enough to the point that we're talking about James Pierre should be gone, man. Afton said, Beanie's INT came because he plays with awareness. He does play with awareness, Afton, but based on the upgrade with the 53-man roster, is he really in the same conversation with the top 4 corners that we have right now? Nah. Reggie, I'm with you, bro. Beanie over Killebrew, man. And this is the one that the Steelers fans don't want to talk about. Afton said, I want better than how he looks, though. Correct. Absolute, Afton. So this is the one that the Steelers fans is having a conniption of. All the different people that I've talked to who are Steeler fans and Yinzis out there talking about, well, we got to keep Killebrew. He's a special teams captain. He's a special teams this and that. He's a special teams big freaking trash is what he is. Killebrew is the worst safety I've ever seen playing football for a team that was pushed in the starting role. Every game that you go back and watch for the last 2 seasons, when 28 was on the freaking field, they designated him and killed him on a regular. Yeah, he's with the Tomlin in the locker room. We set your trap on top of your trap, however that song goes. But though he's not a good football player, he could come down on special teams, make a hit. He could come down on the punt team and make a hit. But on a 53-man roster, when you've improved positions, does he really have the value that you actually need in order for him to be on the team? In my view, hell freaking no, he doesn't have the value. He doesn't fit the criteria anymore to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Not anymore. And I know he's the guys like him on the team, and I know that he's got the camaraderie, but no, Killebrew needs to go. So the question comes down, Beanie over Killebrew? What Tate Boyfriend said? He's blocked more kids than anyone in the league in the past 3 years. I think we can get that out of another player, Tay. I totally believe we can get it out of another player. Thomas Riley said the Steelers need to find a way to keep Skylar Thompson. Thomas, I think they actually are, and that was the position room I was going to next. Skylar Thompson, you're earning yourself an opportunity to get a roster spot on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I got a strategic way for it to happen. And, oh, by the way, has the quarterback room in Pittsburgh improved or what? Listen, I love Justin. I love Russie. But Aaron Rodgers and Mason Rudolph have already shown that we've upgraded from what we had last year. And Yinzis, don't forget, we had 11 wins last year with not good quarterback play in the Pittsburgh Steelers. How many wins you think we're going to get this year with improved quarterback play? So, yeah. But the room itself, Skylar Thompson, yeah, he was playing against second team and third team players. But he had 3 freaking touchdowns, and he looked in control of the offense. I've already said it publicly. He looked better this last game, preseason game, than he looked any other time in the National Football League, including his time as a starter for the Miami Dolphins and when he was at Kansas State University. Skylar looked really, really good, man. Afton, you're right, he does deserve a chance. Absolutely, he deserves a chance. So, but I got a strategic way of doing it because I know that this, once again, the Yinzies, oh, Will Howard, we got to keep Will Howard. Got to say it for real. Let's go Bucks because that's my dude. National championship quarterback, 6th-round pick for the Steelers. The easiest way to do it is this. Place Will Howard on the PUP list. Very simple. Will Howard wouldn't be eligible to come off the PUP list about week 6 or week 7. Hey, you can hide him on the roster. Bring Skylar in as the third-team quarterback. Once Will gets back and gets healthy, you make a decision between – what's up, Jamal? You make a decision between Howard and Skylar Thompson. But the way Thompson's playing now, if we see good things come out of him in week 2 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and this week with the integrated practices, which I think start today, yeah, and he does well in the preseason game and in the last preseason game, yeah, Skylar deserves an opportunity to be our third-team quarterback. Tim Lyon said, I didn't even know who he was. Tim, you got to watch college football a little bit more, dude. I'm not going to put you in the matrix right now, but you got to watch college football a little bit more. He was the Kansas State quarterback, got drafted into the NFL, played for a couple of different NFL teams, but looked really good as far as our third-team quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And not to the point, because I've heard some crazy stuff out there in Yinzy land too. Like, well, we can trade Mason with Calvin Austin III and get another receiver stopped at. No, he's not better than him. Tay-Boy Fresh, you're absolutely right. He started a playoff game for the Miami Dolphins. He did. So, no, Skylar's not going to move into a number 2 position quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But he can definitely be our third-team quarterback. Mason is a solid quarterback number 2, Jardevil. Matter of fact, there's probably a lot of teams that's going to be out there that's going to be calling for Mason to see if they can get him because they got big trash quarterback play, i.e. New Orleans, i.e. Cleveland Browns, i.e. Indianapolis Colts. Y'all quarterbacks is trash. So they might be calling to try to get Mason up out of Pittsburgh. So, man, you never know. But we're not giving up Mason and moving Skylar to number 2. And in all reality, if we cut Skylar Thompson, Skylar would get picked up by another team. There's multiple teams, and I'm going to mess with Mod, and I'm going to call out the Dallas Cowboys. Joe Milton was out there looking like dumpster juice. He was trash in a preseason game. And Cowboy fans, Joe Milton, this and that. Skylar Thompson better than Joe Milton. Skylar Thompson can complete an out route. Skylar Thompson can read a defense. Skylar Thompson knows how to do what he needs to do to actually be serviceable at the quarterback position for any organization. And he looked way better than big trash Joe Milton. Yeah, the Saints quarterback room is super trash. They started with the kid from South Carolina, Rattler. Then they put the rookie in from Louisville. He was out there looking like a scrub. Yeah, there was teams that would be calling for quarterbacks right now. But Skylar, hey, you should have an opportunity, to make the team for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So what Jamal said, Mason looking like he has, yeah, absolutely. Yes, listen, believe it or not, all the quarterbacks do, bro. And you're going to see the evolvement, the evolution of the Arthur Smith offense this year. Because you have serviceable quarterback play, good tight end play, and improved offensive line play. All those people that was out there throwing Jones, and I was one of them. I was guilty of throwing Jones under the bus a little bit. Just pump your brakes, dude. Jones looked good. G sat down on the all-22 film. He didn't give up any pressures. He didn't give up any sacks. They didn't really run the ball to his side that much, so you really couldn't see. But for the backside blocking, for most of the runs, he did well. So I want to see the Pittsburgh Steelers in this preseason game against Tampa Bay run it a little bit more so I can really see what's going on with Jones. Thomas Riley said, we have 1 year with Rodgers at quarterback. This is why I say 2026, Will Howard quarterback 1, Thompson may be quarterback 2. T. Riley, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to draft a quarterback with their first pick in the 2026 draft, regardless of who it is, regardless of where they're sitting. And that's the whole reason why Omar Khan has held on to all this draft capital and hasn't realistically traded for a quarterback 2. For a wide receiver 2, because he's looking at the 12 picks that he has to be able to maneuver in the draft, move up possibly, and get the quarterback that he wants in 2026. So I think Will Howard has an opportunity to maybe fight for the 1, but with a redshirt year by being put on the pup list, nah. He's going to fight, but they're still going to draft a quarterback in 2026. Hopefully Lenore Sellers, I promise you. Jardevil, you're absolutely correct, man. So, but listen now, talked about the cornerback room, talked about the tight end room, talked about
when you have a run game and a guy that really understands the run game, and you can have those matchups. And by the way, Freiermuth can flat out get it done at the tight end position. Smith can flat out get it done at the tight end position. So they're also a matchup. There's a matchup issue there. So if we want to play in 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, right? And you want to match us in nickel or big nickel, we'll physically wear your ass out in the run game. Now you want to put on bigger linebackers because you're saying, hey, man, we got to get into base. We got to get into big base and get our bigger run stoppers in there. And now we can destroy you in the passing game. I think this is going to be something that obviously Aaron Rodgers did not have confidence or trust in the Jets with their tight ends and their passing game in the middle of the football field. So he just stayed out on the edges all the time to, Garrett Wilson and some of those other guys. I think this is a situation where Aaron could have a really big season at 41 years old.
You see what my boy Stank said about that tight end room. You saw what he's talking about. You already know what he's talking about. I'm telling you, it's going to be big problems out of the Steelers offense. Now, last position. Go make it short and sweet. The inside linebacker position. Cole Holcomb, you looked okay. You looked like you recovered from your injury. But Bruner looked good, man. And ask yourself, Yinzies, would you rather have a young, developing linebacker that could really help you on special teams versus a vet who might not be able to stay healthy for the whole season? There was why the experiment happened with Peyton Wilson wearing the green dot in the first preseason game, and he did well. So I like Cole Holcomb. I hope he makes the roster. But, man, I saw enough out of Bruner to where the 53-man roster, we don't need to be holding on to guys like Holcomb. I like him. He played well for us. He's injury prone. Let's get a young guy in there and give him an opportunity that would be willing to play special teams, that will be willing to do the dirty, down and dirty stuff for the Steelers to help us moving forward in 2025. Hey, so listen, y'all. Like I said, this is just a rant that I'm going to be doing once, maybe twice a week. We'll see the different days. We're going to get a regular scheduled day and time. Yeah, absolutely. Harrison's going to make the freaking team. Outside linebacker, to me, it's already put in freaking concrete. You got Harrison, Watt, Sawyer, Highsmith, and Herbig. And Harrison can play inside and or outside. Mark Robinson, Holcomb versus Mark Robinson versus Bruner. I believe that the Pittsburgh Steelers are leaning heavily for keeping Mark Robinson, i.e. why they're playing him at fullback right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's aggressive and he can block, man. So he can't cover anybody in pass, but he damn sure is going to come down here on the run, and he can block and do serviceable things on offense. So I think Mark Robinson wins that position. Corey Brown says we went from having no linebackers to having 4 deep. Yeah.
No Diddy.
Yeah, I seen that. And we got to make a decision on who we're going to keep. So yeah, we definitely. And this is the whole point of this podcast. The 53-man roster has improved so much. What's up, Steeler Girl? What's up, man? We appreciate it, Steeler Girl, for sure. So like I said, I'm going to be coming to you guys twice a week. We're going to get set days and times. It's always going to be around noon. It's really looking like it's going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I'm just going to talk to Steelers Nation, people that love football, because wait till you see how I go off about college football every week. Jamal, for sure, bro. Yeah, get James Pierre out of here. Big trash. Drop him off. Adios, muchachos, my friend. But like I said, I'll be here every week on the Know It Alls channel, going off about what I love. Football in general, college football, professional football, and just talking to you guys and engaging with you guys. We appreciate all you guys rocking with us. We had a lot of response for this very first initial show, and we look forward to seeing you guys every week. If you haven't subscribed to the Know It Alls channel yet, make sure you subscribe to the Know It Alls channel. Last I checked, me, Mod, and Tay Boy Fresh was sitting around and looking at it. We only needed about 70 people to subscribe to get us to 1K. Once we get to 1K, things like we're doing now, plus other things you're going to be things you see constantly on Get Boxing, man. Get that big trash out of here. Send him to the Matrix. I didn't want to do it on the live show, but send Boxing Man to the Matrix right now. Get Michigan out of here, man. All the bad.
Are you not entertained?
No, I'm playing Boxing Man. They're going to have a good team, but they still big trash when it comes to the Buckeyes. But like I said, every week, man, twice a week we'll be here doing what we need to do. Donnie Boy, does Rock Taylor make the team? He's got an opportunity. He's got an opportunity, especially with Calvin Austin III being hurt. But we're going to talk about that tonight. So if you caught me on the little rant this afternoon, check us out tonight on the Know It Alls channel. We're going to start it off with Smash the Gas podcast. You know, every week I got to deal with Kirby and Claude, man, and about their just diabolical stuff. This is the poster board or the intro for the Smash the Gas podcast. We're going to be talking about inter-squad scrimmages tonight with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. What's going to go on in joint practices, where matchup nightmares, and what we need to see go on with the Steelers to improve again from week one preseason game. And then right afterwards, we're going to drop Kirby off, man, maybe drop him off at the gate of the Matrix, jump on the pump your brakes, pick up the real triple OG, triple Shannon White, And we're going to talk about iron and sharpening iron. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Pittsburgh Steelers. Both of those podcasts will be live tonight on the Know It Alls channel, starting at about 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then directly into Pump Your Brakes at about 8:15 p.m. for about an hour with the boy Triple OG. But once again, if you haven't subscribed to the Know It Alls podcast, there's the QR code, man. Scan and subscribe. Help us get over the 1K, because we got a lot of things that we want to do moving forward, but we know we cannot do them without you guys and your support. As for Big G, one of the Capital Know It Alls crew and leaders, man, thank you, Craig. We appreciate it. We'll check you guys on the rant on the next day. We'll holler at you. Peace.
Let's go.
Mamba out.